everybody. Today I thought I would do a couple of things. One, I'm getting over the flu, so if I don't sound like myself or my voice cracks, that's why. But I've been wanting to do a vlog for some time about collecting, the art of collecting. I like to think of it as an art because, and I've given it a lot of thought, because I think that it doesn't matter what you collect, whether it's dolls or toys or stamps or coins or cars or people, not people, but you know what I mean. Anything that you collect, I feel like there's a reason why you collect what you collect. It matters in some way. There's a passion, right? There's a deep passion to collect. And I've just been thinking about my own collections, and then, these blogs have been really, really helpful in getting to know you guys. And I'd love to know a little bit more about your collections and why you collect and how you collect and all that. So I thought I would start by talking a little bit about kind of what goes through my head when I'm collecting and kind of how I got to be the crazy doll collector that I am. One of the things that has occurred to me more than once, I've kind of been curious about, is I've wondered if collecting is something you inherit. If there's like some sort of genetic, there's like a gene, like a collecting gene. Because my mom's mom, my Obachan, she lived to be in her mid-90s, and I remember when I was little, she used to collect those little metal Tonka trucks. And she also collected tiny plateware, dinnerware, pots and pans, all these cute little miniature plates and tea sets and stuff. And she passed away a few years ago. I didn't really get to know her as an adult, and there was a language barrier. But my mom and her sister had gone to Japan and kind of gotten her things organized, and they came across this little treasure chest of some of my grandmother's favorite things. I actually have it. I want to show you. So this is the little treasure box full of some of my grandmother's things, and I think that they knew, I'll show you the inside here. It's like little pots and pans, and some of these are very, very old. I mean, like 40 years old. I think they knew who to give that to, and it was in good hands. And I'll tell you something, when I got this, it did a couple of things for me. It made me feel like I knew her, right? Because I'd never really gotten to know this woman. I was a kid when we left Japan, and she was a little bit scary. But I think more importantly, I felt like her collecting made me feel like I made sense, like I belonged. It wasn't just like, oh, I gotta have all the pieces and I'm a weirdo. It was like I descended from a long line of distinguished weirdos that I respected, and it just really, there were warm fuzzies. I really felt like, man, this is awesome. I want to show you a little bit more of her collection. I'm going to try to be very, very gentle here. But this is some of her pieces from her collection that she held on to, and let me tell you, the woman had great taste, and it just so happens that it's like perfectly pull-up sized. So thanks, Grandma. I just love the details. Anyway, so inheriting collecting aside, my own kind of collecting career, if you could call it that, I've always collected stuff. Even though we didn't have a ton of money at all growing up, my mom recognized that same fire inside of me that she saw in her mom. So anytime she could, she would be adding Care Bears to my Care Bear collection, or my strawberry shortcakes, or my Barbies, or Kelly dolls, or, I had some very specific collections, and that never went away. It evolves over time, get a little more money, get a little more confidence. I think that you go through your late teens, early 20s, and there's this natural kind of time in your life where you're thinking, I'm not supposed to be into toys, I'm not supposed to collect, people are going to judge me. Side note, I have so much, I just have so much admiration for people in that age range. You know who you are, I have a lot of friends that are like, this is me, I'm collecting. I'm a toy collector, I'm a doll collector. So props to you guys. But then as I got older and I really embraced collecting for what it was and stopped thinking of myself as being a weirdo or you know, or just judging myself harshly for wanting to have a collection. And that, of course, led to pull-ups. And I'll tell you that collecting in general gives me great joy. There is a weird satisfaction about having things that fit into a collection. Like, I am very specific about the type of dolls that I collect. They all have to fit a certain way. It's very, very calming and satisfying, and to be able to share it with people is even more amazing. A friend of mine, Bruno, we were talking just recently about how collecting is almost like, we think of it as an art collection. And if you were going to hang art in your home, you'd want it to fit a certain way. And I think that really applies to me with dolls. I collect a bunch of other stuff too. I wanted to show you a couple of these things. So I found these squishies. These I got from Creamy Candy. I've started, because I need more things to collect. These are the cutest things I've seen in a long time. Oh wait, I've got one more. This one might be my favorite. This one is a cat mermaid ice cream cone. Because who doesn't need that in their life? How does that not make anybody happy? I think my grandmother would love this. She would laugh so hard if she saw this, and they squish. Anyway, so my rambling aside, I really would love to know from you guys what you collect. If it's pull-up dolls, how did you get into it? What do you enjoy about collecting? If it's something else, if it's toys, if it's, I don't know, shoes or whatever it is that you collect, I'd love to know a little bit of insight into why you do it, how you pick what you pick, you know, what kind of a joy it brings you, and also happy to answer any questions. So I think that was it, and we will talk next time. Thanks, guys.